Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing a tutorial to teach people how to make a top-down game like this one that I'm currently moving through a level in. I will do that when I get to the next level. If I touch those green things, then they set my position back to the start, or in other words, they kill me. I'm the red square. Yeah. I picked the red square because it's scalable better than the just a regular sprite. Okay, now let me go back to here, back to projects, and this is where we'll start the tutorial. Okay, first things first, we need to create our game. This is the game I was just playing, but we need to create our game. So this is a MicroStudio tutorial right here. It's an online game making website that you can either make your own games or you can play other people's game. Like this one I've played. I will quickly play through the first level, or actually I'm gonna play through the whole thing, just like to show off what you can do. This tutorial will be a Python tutorial. So we will be doing some Python stuff. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to finish the playthrough, but after I finish the playthrough, okay. I remember this being a lot easier than it is currently being. Last time I played it, which I have done, obviously. Just like pop, and then pop. Do this. Go to here. Go to here. And go back through here. And yes, just do this. And pop. Da 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 da. Then just like this. And okay, now let's go back to the tutorial. That was an example game made by someone else, obviously. But let's first create our game. We are going to do this in Python. So you click Advanced, and then keep it as app, but go to language support and click on the drop down menu, and then find Python and click on that. Then I don't know how to do multiplayer stuff on this on MicroStudio, so I'll just keep that disabled for now until I figure that out, and then and then we'll then make our title. I'll just do tutorial, yeah, just like that, and then we'll create, and then first, before we do anything else, we'll find this and this, and then once I finish that, we'll probably use that. But anyway, let's now go to main over here in the file folder this stuff, and then first let's create our player by doing player by first going to init and then writing global and then space player. Remember, capitalization does matter in programming, so we have to do the same capitalization in all our variables as when we define that variable. This here wasn't defining it, it was just making it so that once we do define it, we can access it throughout the different functions. There's this function, which is init, which is the initial function. It initiates the game. And then this one is the update, which is like different like it runs every frame. So, and then the draw function makes it so that you can make your game actually visible. Yeah. So first, after writing global player to make the player variable global, we'll then define the player variable to a value, which will be done by writing player equals. I put a space because in the defining, because I don't see a reason not to. And then object with a capital O, and then open and closed parentheses, and then we will. I should probably have the have stuff open on the second monitor so that I actually know for sure what I'm doing, because that's kind of important. But yeah. Okay. Just 1 second. Okay, there. And I know like everything that I use in the I think in this one, everything I use is in that one. Or everything I use, I know in that one. Not this one. This one is, let me show you. Okay, so this is equivalent to this one, which is the defining the player objects, and then this one is used for collisions with the object on the map level. This one is used for the collisions on entity level as well as the defining it. But okay, we'll start by defining our player by putting player equals object, and then in the parentheses on the object function, we will first put our x, which I will start at -100 because and then 0, and then we'll then put our x size, which I'll have as 20, and then our y size, which I'll also have as 20, and then we'll put our sprite, which we'll just for now call player underscore idle, which we will have to make a sprite over in this tab later. Yep. Okay, now we need to put the global player to make the player variable accessible in all of the functions and not just the initiating function and outside the functions. But yeah. Now, let's then do in the draw function, we'll do player dot draw and then just open and close parentheses. We don't need anything further. And while we're at it, let's also do the screen dot fill. We'll do round round rect as could be seen in the bottom along with a list of others, and then 0, 0, and then we'll do screen dot width, screen dot height, and then radius is just like how curved it is at the corner, like how much of the corner is curved. We'll do 20, and then color, we do RGB, and then I'll do 0, 255, 255. Just when you're making the background, which is what this is, just put whatever values in these three places or whatever that you want for your background so that it matches what you're picturing. This is just our basic background. We will be making some background stuff here, like in here, yeah. Now let's really quickly make our icon so that we know which game it is when we go to edit it next time, in case you decide to make another game. Now I'm going to just if you want, you can just press right click and it will allow you to erase when you're on pencil. I'm going to really quickly just empty this out, and then I will change it to 8x8 so that I can draw it quicker, and then I'll just fill it with red and make a T for tutorial, and then I'll change it to 128 by 128, and just like and then size up like that. Then I'll do basically the same thing over there, but I'll do this, and do the same thing over here. There. It's not perfect, but if I want to make it perfect, I can just use the symmetry tool down here. Now that we have our icon, let's see if we can save it without making it public. Unless it already saves, which I'm pretty sure it actually does. So just ignore that. Let's make our player 16 by 16. Okay. Now, fill with, I'm just gonna, draw what you want your player to look like, which for me is going to just be a square with little corners like that, and then I will fill it in with red and just like make a couple lines, make the brush smaller, and make a smiley face, which I'll make a bit bigger. There. Now, let's rename our sprite so that it matches our player idle, our sprite in here. And now that we've renamed it, as you can see, it's right here in our game. So now let's make a floor sprite. The sprites automatically save, so you don't have to worry about that. I'll make the floor just like orange. I like orange, so there. Now we've got an orange ground. We'll put some texture, just like make it look like a cookie. yeah. And then just because I'm going to smoothen the just like going to smoothen it out, which because of how I have it set up, it should just like make like a kind of like shading effect. Then we'll go back over and make it look more like a pizza. Okay. Now, because I want it to look like a cookie, I'm going to put a few chocolate chips in there. And just like there. Now, let's go to our maps and create a map. Make it, let's do 12 by 8. Apply. Now let's take our floor and just make like a quick box. I'll leave the top open though. You don't have to leave the top open, but I'm gonna leave the top open. Okay. Now, let's now do, you know what, let's do it in front of the player. Okay. Okay, screen dot draw map, and then we want our map that we just made. We'll call this world. No, let's call it sample. Okay, we'll take the name of our did capitalize. Okay, okay, let's put our name in quotations, comma, after the quotations, and then our 0, 0, and then width is green dot width, comma, and then height screen dot height. And now we should there. It forced it to be not. Okay, now that we have our map, let's now make our movement. And you know what, actually no, let's save that for next time. Okay, so if you want to test out your game, you can click on this and it will open the game in a new tab. Right now, nothing does anything because we haven't made it do anything. But we can see that we have our map here. and our game. Doesn't do anything though. Okay. I will see you guys next time for the next tutorial.